right, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure that you are putting your name in the chat, introducing yourself, telling us where you're from. Thank you, Julie, for including all the schools that you serve. And if you see someone on the chat that you know, feel free to message them. All right, so I'm going to launch a poll, and this poll is to let me know how many of you are first-time participants in PD in your PJs, and how many of you are returners. So if you have been here before, you're going to click participated before, of course, and if this is your first time tonight, you're going to click first timer. We have almost 25 of the 36 on tonight. Christy's going to put the link in the chat for you guys for your Google form for your sign-in. So if you haven't signed in for your attendance tonight, you have the opportunity to click the link that she's sharing in the chat. So you can see that we've got a lot of first-timers here tonight. 80% of those that have answered the poll are brand new. So we're so happy that you have joined us with PD in your PJs. So our purpose tonight is to focus and to explore some of the many Chrome extensions that are available. Hopefully it will help with your instruction and save you time, and it will really amaze you to what your Chrome browser is able to do. So let's talk about those Chrome browser extensions. How many of you already know about Chrome extensions? And if you know about them, what do you know? If you will put that in the chat, I'll pull the chat up so I can see it.
I don't like that.
Okay, QR scanner. Good, Julie, you don't know much about them, but you will. I saw Screencastify, Cami, those are some of the extensions that I'm going to talk about tonight. You are going to learn how to use those extensions, I promise. Google Cast and Screencastify, yep, those are extensions. But I'm seeing that some of you are not familiar with very many of them, so you have come to the right place. By the time you leave tonight, you're going to have a few. I hope that you will try and give it a chance to use. Yes, interactive writing tools. Those of you that are running with the LEDs and using your flip Chromebooks, we have shown you Page Marker and Web Paint to be able to use those tools. You're right, those are extensions. Flippity, love Flippity. We talked about that the last time. All right, one more time before we get too much further. Well, I think I'm going to wait. If you're having trouble logging in to the Chrome browser, don't worry about that. I'm going to show you one more time how to do that. If you're on a Chromebook, no worries, you're already logged in. So for those of you that are not sure about Chrome extensions, they're really little tiny, if you will, software that you can add to your Chrome browser that adds functionality to it. So on the screen, you guys will see a screenshot of my actual extensions. I kind of blew them up a little bit. So they run across the top of my screen, beside, get out of the way, beside of the URL box, and the ones that you have running will all show up in your toolbar just like these are. The way that you get Chrome extensions, you go shopping for them. So how many of us love retail therapy? So you log into Chrome, which one more time, if you're logged into your Chromebook, you're automatically logged into Chrome. I will show you one more time how to log in on a laptop or a desktop. You visit the Chrome Web Store, which I have linked here. You can search by name or category, or you can just select the extensions filter and click add to Chrome when you find the apps that you want to add. So one more time, if you are on a laptop or if you are on a desktop, in your Chrome browser, over on the right-hand side of the screen, right beside of the three dots, whatever that little icon is that sits there, whether it's an image, it's a little ghosty person, if you will click that, if you see your email address, you are logged in. If you are not, it should say sign into Chrome, and you just sign in with your Gaston County School email address. So once you find those extensions when you go shopping, you will find a blue Add to Chrome button over on the right-hand side, and you click that and give it permission to add to your browser. Your Chrome extensions can be accessed in the upper right-hand corner of your browser, which I have repeatedly shown you with my screenshot and pointing to now with my mouse. Or you can click the three dots, which we affectionately call a snowman. And if you'll go to more tools, you'll see extensions there as well. And you'll see a screenshot of what I just did on this slide. So one more time, it's the three dots, whether you're on a Chromebook or a laptop or a desktop. Choose more tools and extensions, and any extensions that you have added to your browser will show in that list. Public safety announcement time. Extensions can access your data and your information. So when you're looking at extensions, and we encourage you to look at them and check them out, do a couple of things before you just add them to your browser. So check the number of users or people that have downloaded.
Add extension to continue.
The number of people who have downloaded it will tell you whether it's a good extension or not.
Then click
And also how many users have downloaded that particular extension.
You're almost done.
Read the peer reviews as well. And choose wisely. So sometimes it's going to happen that you add an extension that you don't like. And sometimes you're going to discover that your browser starts to act really weird. So if that happens, uninstall the extensions that you added the last. So how do you do that? I'm so glad you asked. You're going to go to your three dots in the top right-hand corner. You're going to choose more tools, and you're going to click on extensions. And notice here are all of the extensions that I have added to my Google Chrome. There are a lot of them. So if there's one that you want to get rid of, you're going to simply click the remove button. Easy peasy. The other option is you can right-click the extension in your toolbar and choose Remove from Chrome. That's the easiest, but those are your two options. So I'm going to stop for a second. Do you guys have any questions about what Chrome extensions are? How do you get them? What you need to look for? Or if how to sign in. Oh, chat is quiet. while you're thinking, if you have any questions, as teachers, you guys can go shopping as much as you want to. You go to the Chrome Web Store and it is not blocked for you. Every extension, every app is sitting there. The reason that it's not blocked for you guys is because as you hear about them or you go shopping and you see something that you think will work, we want you to test it. If you test it and you decide that, oh my goodness, this is something that I definitely want my students to be able to have as well. The store is not wide open for your students. So in the notes, in the speaker notes on slide number 14, there is a link to a form for you to request any apps or extensions that are in the store that your students do not have, for us to vet them and add them. And the reason that we're asking you to fill out that particular form is because we have to make sure that we are protecting students and following the SIPA and COPA guidelines. So let's see, I believe it was on slide 14. So if I come out of presentation mode, here is the link to the form. So you click that. This is what the form looks like. You give us your email address, you tell us your information, tell us if it's an app or an extension and what it is. Give us the link to it and tell us why you want to use that particular app. And then we will vet it and make sure that it meets all of the guidelines it has to meet for students in our district. And then we will let you know when it's added for your students. All right, Christy, is the chat still quiet? All right, then here we go. For your evidence for tonight, as you know, when we do DLCs, we have to have some type of artifact. So I want you to know up front that you're going to choose 3 extensions from tonight that intrigue you. I want you to list those down. So as I'm saying them, you might want to jot it down somewhere. Keep it in your memory. You're going to need to keep 3 out of the 20 that I'm going to show you. Then you're going to submit those 3. So let's say some of you mentioned screencastify. That will be one of them. So if that's an extension that you want to investigate, you're going to write down screencastify and you're going to tell me why you're intrigued by that particular extension. I'm intrigued because, just something very simple. So we'll do just 3 out of the 20. All right, so here we go. The first one is my favorite because if you have a lot of extensions running in Google Chrome, it will slow Google Chrome down. So you can easily turn on and off your extensions by using the Extensity tool or the Extensity extension, because it will quickly let you turn your extensions on and off. And I said I wasn't going to do this for all of them, and I'm not, but I do want you to see how Extensity works. So on my screen, I'm going up to my toolbar where Extensity is living. I click that toolbar, and now I can see all of the extensions that I have listed or that I have added to my browser. So if I want to turn Crafty Text on, I just click it. If I want to turn it off, I click it. Super easy. And that way it's not slowing my browser down because I have a bazillion extensions added to Chrome. All of these extensions are linked on each of the tabs. Obviously, we're going to go through pretty fast, so you probably won't have time to install these tonight. So again, write down the 3 that you're most intrigued by and add those when we are finished. Extensity, though, is like my favorite. For those of you that are working on your advanced degrees, I bet you're having to do bibliographies for your papers. EasyBib Toolbar is an extension that will help you to cite your websites with one click. And not only does it do that, but it will keep all of your citations together and put it together in a fully formatted, alphabetized, word processor ready bibliography. I could drop the mic right there and we'd be done, especially if you guys are working on your doctorate or your master's. Add to Google Classroom. Love, love, love this extension as well. If you're on a site and you click Add to Google Classroom, this extension will automatically save it to your Google Classroom, and you can share it with your students as an announcement or as an assignment. And you can see here where I've showed you what your choices are. So when you click the icon, which is the green circle with the yellow plus inside of it, Share to Classroom will come up. You'll pick the classroom you want to share to, and you can choose whether you're making an assignment out of that website, asking a question about it, creating an announcement, or making materials with it. Also to Google Classroom, you can use the Share to Google Classroom extension. And we have pushed that to most of the users in the district. This extension allows you to quickly push a website to any of your classrooms, and they will instantly open on your students' computers. Yes, exactly, that's what it will do. So if I pull up an article in noisily that I forgot that I was going to give them as an assignment, and I want to get every student on that particular website at one time, I click on the Share to Classroom icon, which is this, this guy here. And I can push it out to all of my students at once. There is another extension that will do that as well. It's called Google Tone that you can search for in the store, and it will send out a tone or a little beeping sound, and the Chromebooks pick that up and it will automatically put every kid on the same web page. The cool thing about Share to Google Classroom is you can also not only just push it out to your students, you can also post it as an announcement, create an assignment, or save it to your classroom for later. This one we learned about at a conference during the spring. It's called Remote for Slides. It allows you to get away from the front of the room by controlling the Google slide presentation on any device. You don't need any other hardware. You can use your phone, you can use your, seriously, any device, and go through your presentation by clicking Next Slide, as you can see here, or Previous Slide, as you can see from the screenshot of what it looks like on a phone. Couple of people in the chat earlier mentioned the Cami extension. This is absolutely one of the best extensions to mark up PDFs, and it works with Google Drive and Google Classroom. Great tool, allows you to and your students to mark up text. So if they are reading and they're having to cite evidence from something that they've read, or they're putting their notations as they're reading, you can use Cami for that. Oh, and by the way, all of these are free. Insert Learning is free for 5 items. If you go to a website and use Insert Learning, you can turn that website into an interactive learning experience for your students. So basically what Insert Learning lets you do is take a website, and you as a teacher can put additional videos over top of it, add discussion questions, you can put your thoughts over anything or put questions in it. And when students go to that website, once you share it through Insert Learning, they will see the extra things that you have given them, such as the video or the extra discussion options. And they can respond to the questions, they can respond to the discussions, they can play the video. So it really does make that website more interactive. 5 times for free, and then after that is a paid service. Crafty Text. Chris Craft is an educator in South Carolina, and he loves to make extensions. So I'm going to talk about a couple of his. Crafty Text is one of them. How many of you have ever wanted to put on your display great big text that your kids can see from the back of the room? Crafty Text lets you do that. So basically, over any website, you click on the extension Crafty Text, CT is the little icon, and it pops up a box, and you type in what you want to type, and it will show up in ginormous letters on your screen. Speaking of Chris Craft, another one that I use a lot is called Crafty Rights. The icon for it is the C and the R. You know, we and our students are guilty of going to Google and searching for images, and we just use whatever image we find. That's not copyright, it's actually copy wrong. So we want to teach the students how to filter for the correct images. So I am going to come out and I'm going to show you this one. So here is my Crafty Rights extension. If I pop over to Google and I want to search for images, search for a dog. Because I have my Crafty Rights on, it's automatically filtering all of these images for images that are labeled for reuse. So that means any of these that are showing up, I can use them in presentations, documents, whatever I need to use an image for. If I click on Crafty Rights, and now notice that my extension instead of black is red, and it's telling me it's been disabled. If I refresh and search for dog, let's go to another tab and do it. Images, search for dog. Now notice that because I've turned it off, it's not filtering. So some of these images are copyrighted and I shouldn't be able to use them. So instead of having to teach students to go through tools, change the usage rights, just turn Crafty Rights on and you will be able to find the images that you can use. Love, love that extension. Oh my goodness. This is another favorite of mine, Tab Snooze. And I just found this one recently. I am the world's worst about, I get things in email, articles, blog posts, and I have some tabs open and I'm going to go and read that. And then I get pulled to do something else, or an important email comes in, or it's time to go into a teacher's classroom to help them. And I have lots of tabs open. If you use Tab Snooze, you can actually tell it to move that tab, close it out of the way, and open it when you want it to open. So you can schedule a time and a day for it to open. You can just tell it to open later tonight, or you can tell it to open next weekend or someday or periodically. When you schedule it, which is what I do, so I schedule it for the end of the day when I know I'm going to be at a computer and the teachers are gone for the day, I have it pop back up and then I have time to actually read something. Love that. And it looks like a little moon. Keep Awake. Keep Awake is a great one to use on your Chromebooks. It does exactly what it says to do. Instead of your Chromebook going to sleep, Keep Awake keeps it awake. And how do you know? You can switch between the modes. The screen is on when you see the sun icon, and it will go into sleeping mode when you see the sunset icon. Another great extension, especially when you're working on something and you want kind of a tutor or help right away, G Suite Training extension gives you a really quick interactive showing you how to do something. So if you're in Gmail and you don't remember how to do an attachment, you can click that little help extension and it will walk you through how to do that. We save lots of bookmarks in Chrome. And sometimes we go back to try to find that bookmark and we can't find it. Homes is a great extension that will actually search your bookmarks in Chrome. So if I have bookmarked a website about schnauzers and I can't find it, I can click on Homes and search for schnauzer, and it'll pull up every bookmarked website that I have that has anything to do with schnauzers. Screencastify. Several of you mentioned this one. Loom is an alternative extension to Screencastify. I love Screencastify because it saves to Google Drive and it's so easy. Even our youngest learners can use this tool. So basically what Screencastify and Loom will do is it will do a screen recording of whatever you have on your device, Chromebook, laptop, desktop. And you can also turn on the webcam and have the webcam show up. So this is a great way for students to pull up a presentation that they've created, a document that they've written, and actually put their voice and face to it and share it out with others through Google Drive. It's free. And you can also upload to YouTube from Screencastify if you would like. Very simple tool. One tab. If you are one of those people, present company included, that you have lots of tabs open at one time and you want to consolidate them all instead of having it open thousands of tabs across your Chrome browser, then you can use the one tab. And what that does, it takes all of your tabs that have been open and it will make a list of them. And you can click on them one at a time and go back to those, or you can restore them all at once. Another cool thing is if you're working in PLCs and you guys are finding resources for something, you could have all of those tabs go into one tab and you can share it out with each other and or your students. It provides a link for you to do that. Speaking of tabs, sometimes you want to split your tabs into a couple of windows so you can see one tab on this side and the second tab on the other side, side by side. Tab scissors will help you do that very easily. Instead of the dragging and dropping that I showed you at the beginning of this session, you could just click on tab scissors and it will split your tabs into side by side. And then when you're ready to put it all back together, Tab Glue extension will also put all of those tabs back together with just one click. If you're one of those that needs nice, quiet background music to work, Noisily is a very easy to use extension that will give you background sounds, kind of like the apps on our phones that we use to help us sleep at night. That's got the rainfall, the forest sound, the river running by, just white noise. That's the kind of stuff that you can build inside of Noisily, and you can have it play for increments of time that you want it to play. ColorZilla is a color picker tool that if you're looking for certain colors from a website, you can click on ColorZilla and then click in that area on the website and it will give you the hex code to actually have that exact color. Another alternative to ColorZilla is called Eyedropper, and that is mentioned in the speaker notes for you as well. How many of you are tired of ads, especially when you're playing that beautiful aquarium on your LED? uBlock Origin is a great way to stop the ads from showing, especially on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to tell you how nerdy I can be. I occasionally, especially this time of the year, am known to watch the streaming of our board meetings. I don't get the ads that most people get because I run uBlock Origin. So when they have those crazy ads pop up in the middle of stuff, it doesn't come up for me. Great tool. just an FYI, it will block other kind of pop-ups. So if you are in, say, a testing program where you click something and it pops up another window, you will need to turn uBlock off while you're working through that program and then turn it back on as you need it. So again, use Extensity to be able to turn on and off your extensions. And one of the ITF's most favorite extensions is called Bitmoji. You guys have seen my Bitmoji every time I've done PD in your PJs, and you've seen it pop up tonight. You saw Christy's earlier when we talked about her running the chat. It allows you to create an avatar that looks pretty much like you, and then it will do all kinds of cool things. As you can see, I'm celebrating Thursday, Friday Eve. You have seen where I was pointing to something. I used it for signing in. This is a great way to personalize your presentations. You can put it in docs. It will also add to your email. So you can use Bitmoji to add to your email. You do have to have a Snapchat account to create a Bitmoji, but you can create your Snapchat. And if you don't ever want to go to Snapchat, you don't have to. You can just use your Snapchat login to get to your Bitmoji. FYI, you do have to do that Snapchat off of Gaston County School Network because we do block that, of course, for obvious reasons. Love Bitmoji. So those are 20 of my favorite Chrome extensions. Now I want some of you to unmute your microphone because I can't see the chat, and you guys tell me some of the ones that you like that I have not mentioned. And it's crickets.
All right, I'll go.
Thank you.
That, I know for RK kiddos in math, we do the geoboards and pattern blocks, and I want to say the 10 frames as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
Hi, Teresa and everyone. I use the number generator when my kids are playing a game, and they can starting and ending numbers and this randomly generate a number.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
I need to write that one down.
Anybody else? Read receipt for email extension. Question asked. Christy, I don't. Oh, you're talking about that mail thing. I don't use that. Oh, what's it called? I know some of my colleagues use it. MailTrack is an extension that you can add to your mail that will let you know if somebody has actually read your mail. I don't use that because I get enough emails without getting notification that somebody else has actually opened my email. Anybody else have a favorite Chrome extension? All right, if not, on slide 43, there is a link to even more Chrome extensions for educators. I'm gonna click it so you guys can see it's unreal. So you can see a list of lots and lots and lots, and they're giving you just a snippet of what each of these extensions are, and they are all linked. So some of the ones that I mentioned tonight, such as my favorite, Extensity, Eyedropper, those are all listed with the links to be able to add them. So if I didn't give you enough, and the couple of people that shared didn't add to your repertoire of possible extensions, there's a huge list for you to peruse over later.